Back on CBS Sports HQ, we're going to take you out live to Abu Dhabi where the boss is at the podium. Dana White speaking now.
Grapple, not strike with him. You know, tire him out, make him use his arms and legs, get him past. He thought a round and a half, and he thought the fight would go the other way if he could get Conor out of the first round and a half.
Have you had a chance to speak to Conor yet after the result?
No, I haven't seen anybody.
I want to ask you what you thought about Michael Chandler as well. Like I said, an amazing debut from him.
When guys come into the UFC for the first time, they usually have a rough, first time in the big stage. He didn't. He came out and almost seemed like Hooker froze in that first round. And Chandler was just all over him and put on an incredible performance. Listen, man, when you get the platform that we had tonight, you make the most of it, and that kid did. Some people did tonight, and some didn't.
Yeah. I guess now the big question is, because those were two great wins, was Khabib impressed by anybody? Do we know what he's thinking?
I did talk to Khabib, and he said to me, Dana, be honest with yourself. You know, I'm so many levels above these guys. I beat these guys, and you know, I don't know. I don't know what he's, but it doesn't sound very positive. So we'll see. And what he said was, I told you guys before, he won't hold the division up. I mean, he already retired. He's basically retired. I'm the one that's been, you know, trying to get him to do one more.
Yeah. So do you give him a deadline? I mean, obviously you got guys that want to compete for a belt, and I know he's not going to hold up. But what's the schedule in your mind?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because these two just fought. They're not fighting again anytime soon. So get it figured out.
You think if he is done, do you think those are the two guys that fight for the lightweight title?
Yeah.
You talked about the massive platform. Any early indication on how you're doing? And also, it seemed like there were some little bit of tech issues at the start. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, it was mostly on the West Coast. West Coast had some problems, but they got it fixed. And, yeah, it was a good night. It was a really good night. One of the top two all time. Top two all time? Yeah.
Wow. We know you were going after the Pirates, the illegal streaming. Any news on that?
Yeah,
front?
So let me tell you that story. It's my phone. So the night that I guess it was, I did an interview with BT, and then I did I think you asked me at the press conference, right? And, you know, I basically said, this is what's going to happen. So, and I told you guys that we found the guy, and we were watching him. He put out a statement that night, said, I will not be streaming the McGregor versus Poirier anymore, but I will show you how to buy it legally, and put out this huge statement. And now his whole streaming service has been deleted and is gone, disappeared. One down and a load to go. And I'm ready. Every event, I'm going to go after one of these guys, one of these, or more. We'll see.
Fair enough. Last thing for me, we didn't get to see you after the weigh-ins.
And who you are, guy that did this. Good move. We had you, pal. I don't know if he knew something or what, but we had you, and all you had to do was pop up that stream, and you were in big trouble. So he did the right thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, last thing for me, we hadn't seen you since the weigh-ins. The whole Ottman-Izitar situation. What was in the bag that was brought there? You talked about?
No clue.
Crazy.
Yeah, no clue. Yeah, unfortunate.
Dana, right. When you're watching the main event, the first round, Conor going for the shoulder strikes again, Dustin Poirier going for the takedown. When you're watching that first fight, was it playing out how you had expected?
Well, I think Conor had a good first round doing what Conor does, but Poirier did too. I think Poirier fought the way he needed to fight in the first round.
Then the calf kicks seems obviously played a major factor.
100%.
And then I think Dustin even said he kind of thrives being overlooked. He didn't say he was being overlooked this fight, but I think a lot of people were looking forward to the Khabib-Conor fight. Did you think, A, was he being overlooked, and did he thrive?
Every time I did an interview, I had to talk about Dustin Poirier because the interviewers weren't. Yeah, he was totally overlooked.
And then Dan Hooker took his gloves off and tossed him into the octagon after he left. Have you spoken to him at all?
No, I haven't talked to anybody except Khabib.
Where does Charles Oliveira fit into this lightweight title picture, too?
Yeah, good question.
Then finally, what did you make of the stoppage in the Marina Rodriguez-Amanda Ribas fight? It seems like Marina said she basically got 2 knockouts in one fight.
It's true. That is true. Yeah, it was a bad. You know, he got too close to it to make them think that it was over, and then the second stoppage was good. I guess that's the way to put it. But yeah.
Just going back to that Ottman situation, I think I heard you in an interview say that they gave the wristbands to their friends, but then the guy who had the wristband like scaled the balcony or something. Why did he do that if he had a wristband? Why couldn't he just go into the lobby?
He did. He did go into the lobby, went into a room, then scaled a couple balconies over to his room.
Did he just get into the wrong room or something? Why?
No, I don't know what the hell happened. They gave a wristband to somebody. The guy came up and was, they you know.
Is there a chance of criminal charges being brought against that guy?
No, we're not doing that. But getting your fight pulled and getting kicked out of the UFC is probably bad enough for him. We don't need any criminal charges against the kid. He's not a bad kid. He just made a bad decision.
I meant the guy who came in.
Oh, yeah, that's Abu Dhabi government has his name. I don't know what they'll do with him. Yeah, that's up to them.
Dana, can I ask if Jojo Calderwood, do you think she'll make her way back to Valentina, back to the title picture with that win?
Yeah, it was a great fight. She looked good tonight. All kinds of weapons tonight. I don't know. I mean, you know I don't make fights the night of the fight, but obviously she looked great tonight.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Ani.
Sandrine from Kura. Would you say that Chandler's UFC debut was the most impressive you've seen?
It's pretty damn good. I don't know if I've seen one, but like I said to John, you know, a lot of people who come in their first time have a rough go, you know, and their first fight in the UFC. That kid fought like he's been here for years. So, yeah, I off the top of my head, I can't remember a better one. Do you guys hate the backflips as much as I hate the backflips? It's just the kid gets his fight in the UFC, then does a backflip that looks like it's going to blow out both ankles, knees, and his spine. I don't get the backflip thing, and I don't like it. Somebody's going to get hurt doing that.
Sorry. Then what do you make of the performance of Rodriguez against Amanda? And how do you see the future of Amanda that had a lot of hype and then got knocked out?
Well, it happens. I mean, you know, in this fight, I mean, she deserved all the hype she got, but when you put two of the baddest women in the world against each other, somebody's gonna get it, and it was her. It wasn't that she was overhyped. They're 2 top 10. You know, to make it into the UFC and then to make it into the top 10, I knew that was going to be a good fight, and either one of them could have gone in that fight. She wasn't overhyped.
We saw the video of you talking to Khabib about the numbers of the UFC 257. Do you have any updates on the numbers?
Yeah, I told John it's top, either number 2 or number 3, all time.
Thank you.
Dana, to your left over here. Over here.
Hey.
Conor said in the cage that he's keen to be really active going forward after this, and he wants the rounds. Are you considering maybe turning him around relatively quick? Obviously, he needs to recover from a knockout like that.
Who, Conor?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure in a few hours he'll be blowing me up, telling me, you know, a million things he wants to do. So we'll see. We'll see what he wants to do from here.
Yeah, and obviously Dustin's heading in a different direction, but he says they'd maybe like to do part 3 sometime down the line. Is that something you could envision?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a trilogy when you got 1-on-1.
Awesome, thank you.
Cool.
Here, Muradov jumped out of the cage and asked you to give him an Instagram follow. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. He jumped over the cage and said, Dana. And I walked over there and he says, why don't you follow me on Instagram? I said, I'll follow you right now. We got it done.
And also, any updates on when UFC might be coming to Abu Dhabi again?
Well, we haven't left yet.
We already want to come back.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to map it out in my head, we'd come back here in June or July. Probably it'd be about that time. You know, who knows? While we were here, there was a new inauguration, and we'll see what happens. You know, traveling in America and all this stuff is going to be, I think, another massive challenge for us this year.
Thank you.
Dana, can I ask about Michael Chandler? And because he came past the media and he was saying, "I'm coming for you, Khabib. I'm coming for you." What did he shout at you? I see him come over to you just after his victory, just before he exited the cage. Did he say something similar?
He was saying all kinds of things. I can't hear well, so I kept asking what he was saying. I didn't get most of what he said, but I knew he was fired up, and I'm sure he was asking me for something, but I don't know exactly what he said. You're gonna have to ask him when he comes in here. But yeah, I'm obviously going to talk to Khabib and see if he wants to defend that title, and if he doesn't, I won't push it anymore.
I know we got Khabib's comments to you. You said that he was levels above those guys, but did he make any special mention of Michael at all?
No. He said, "Dana, be honest with yourself." You know, he wanted to see something spectacular. You know, he hates Conor, so I know he wanted Conor to lose, but, you know, there has to be a little piece of him inside that, you know, the fight with him and Conor would have been one of the biggest fights ever, if not the biggest fight. So the last few days, the way that this thing's been trending, and you guys had to feel it with your numbers too. I mean, our numbers are off the charts this week. And I was saying that I felt that Khabib-Conor could be the #3 fight all-time, period, in all combat sports. Today, I felt like it could be #1. I felt like it could beat McGregor-Mayweather. You know, so a piece of them had to want to be a part of a fight that big.
Yeah.
Dana, we just had a taste of what's like having fans back. Do you think it's going to be a little weird going back to the Apex? And would you have Conor fight, because he wants to stay active, would you have Conor fight at the Apex with no fans?
Yeah, you know, coming into this thing, I didn't know these fans here were great. I figured they'd be crazy tonight. At one point when they were chanting, "Ole, ole," I mean, it sounded like this place was sold out. So it's cool to have fans, but yeah, I mean, we could do Conor at the Apex. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what this year is gonna hold for any of this stuff with what's going on in the United States right now. So we'll see what happens.
I was gonna say Anderson's debut was pretty impressive.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
And what you say about travel might be more difficult under this administration?
Yeah, it sounds like things are tightening up over there, and talking about 14-day quarantine like Canada and stuff like that. If that happens, that's gonna be a problem.
If you do come back here, because I know some people, they had to quarantine for I think 10 days or something like that, and they missed that window and had to resell their tickets. Is there anything we can do about that so fans don't get to miss?
What happened?
I think some people had bought tickets, but they missed the window for quarantining to get into Abu Dhabi, so they had to sell their tickets because they couldn't go. Is there anything that can be done about that if you do come back here?
Listen, I'm trying to do everything we can do. I mean, this situation's never going to be perfect, but Abu Dhabi's as close to perfect as you can get. I might have to move here this year. Yeah, it's as close to perfect as you can get. I mean, the way that these guys do everything in this country is done to the best of everybody's abilities. It's incredible.
Dana.
Yes.
Here, you already talked a little bit about Oliveira, but there's an interview that you said that Justin Gage is the fight to make for Oliveira. Is that the idea?
For who? For Oliveira. I don't know. Listen, I didn't make any fights tonight. We're just talking. People are throwing theories at me. Theoretically, what do you think of this? I didn't make any fights tonight. I didn't agree to anything. We're gonna go home. Tuesday is matchmaking. We'll start figuring stuff out. Go ahead. Yeah.
Based on your personal knowledge of Conor, how do you think he would react to this defeat? I mean, as a personal opinion.
Yeah, you know, I think it'll make him hungry. I think it'll make him hungrier. There's two ways this goes. Hungrier or I'm done. He's got the money. I mean, when you think about it, I'm a huge Rocky fan. This is like Rocky 3, okay? When you get off a 310-foot yacht, you know what I mean? You're living that good life. It's tough to be a savage, you know, when you're living like he lives and has the money that he has. You know, on his way up, he was a young, hungry kid, didn't have any money, and he wanted nice things. He wanted nice suits, nice cars, nice houses. He's got everything he ever wanted, you know? So I don't know. It goes this way or that way. Yep.
Anything else? You're all good.
Thanks, guys. Have a safe trip home.
All right, so there he was, Dana White, talking all things UFC 257. The world of mixed martial arts sounding off on the tail end of Poirier-McGregor. Khabib Nurmagomedov, current lightweight title holder, tweets, "This is what happened when you change your team, leave the sparring partners who made you a champion, and sparring with little kids far away from reality."
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.